Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, or Hakodash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and salutations to the Aki Opportunities videos. Alright, so I want to do this video on a little observation I had with Sakari Passover. I know a lot of brothers have already done this video, spoken about it, and show that clip all throughout Israel pretty much in GMS. But I wanted to read some precepts that what I had in mind, because in that video, and I'm going to show just a few clips of it later on. It showcased that pretty much that they weren't necessarily out of this world. Because when you come into this ministry, when your mind gets woken up to the truth, wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, you start to depart from all these ways of the world. And so the back and forth that they had was that they were saying is where were they sinning? So that's not the point necessarily. Is that ultimately they weren't being born again. They weren't walking the straight and narrow path. And then ultimately is that they were doing a bad thing because the Passover is a solemn assembly. And I read that in the comment section. Actually, I'll go ahead and pull that out. Because the main thing that we're going on, speaking to them about this is because the Passover is a solemn assembly, and it's right here. It's 1 Corinthians 11 verse 27. It says, "Wherefore whosoever shall eat this bread and drink this cup of the Lord unworthily shall be guilty of the body and blood of the Lord." So when they go to these parties, and necessarily a party is not a bad thing. Drinking isn't a bad thing, but then they're drinking of this cup unworthily because this is a solemn assembly. It's pretty much like a remembrance of what was going on during the time of right before when Yahweh Shai was put on the cross. And you don't see that in this video. If anything, you see a lot of gang signs, party club dancing, and some like scantily clad women, with weaves and whatever, wearing masks as well. But I'm gonna go ahead and read this precept. This is 1 Corinthians 6 verse 9. It says, "Know ye not that the unrighteous shall not inherit the kingdom of the Most High? Be not deceived, neither fornicators, nor idolaters, nor adulterers, nor effeminate, nor abusers of themselves with mankind." And we know what all those mean. Effeminate, adulterers. But like I said in this video, I wanted to point out the observation that in this ministry, namely Great Millstone, you have to be born again. You have to put off the world, pretty much. Be separate. So that you're not you can't blame the ministry. So that you can lead by example. Because we have a flock to take care of. And then leading by example isn't necessarily it's not a good thing to do, like what they showcased in that video. Partying, having a bunch of women there. But like I said, we're not getting on them for being drunkards, or whatever. But we are, because they're not necessarily taking the scriptures, in like their right mindset, having it single-eyed, having it separate from the world. Because that video looks like what you would see at a so-called black church, like a party after the sermon, where you can get some pupusas and tamales, and after the service or whatever. That's pretty much what it looked like. But I'm gonna read verse 10. It says, "Nor thieves, nor covetous, nor drunkards, nor revilers, nor extortioners shall inherit the kingdom of the Most High. And such were some of you, but ye are washed, but ye are sanctified, but ye are justified in the name of the Lord Yahweh Shai, and by the Spirit of our power Yahweh." So that's the main point, is that when you come into this ministry, you're pretty much washed. You're cleansed from the world, and then you're supposed to walk in this ministry in the straight and narrow path, following the ordinances that were placed upon us, to the best of our ability. And if I was invited to a Passover and it involved partying and a bunch of random women, I would kindly decline. But rather I would, if anything, I would do it myself. Doing that yourself is it's a little hard, because you'd have to follow everything step by step. No one's there to help you.
But ultimately, it's better to do it right than to do it wrong. Why even go to the Passover when it's just a big party? Like I read that precept is you're not supposed to eat this meal and drink this cup unworthily. Because you have to have in your mindset what was going on at the time of the Passover when Yahweh Shai was walking on this earth. Is right before the Passover, he was about to get after the Passover, he was going to get put on the cross. So that wasn't a very mirthful mode, a mirthful spirit that Yahweh Shai was going through. And we're supposed to walk, the same path, because just as we're servants of Yahweh Shai, we're gonna go through all those things that the Master went through. All right. So another precept I have is 1 John 2 verse 15. It says, "Love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him." And it's easy to just separate from the world. Like in that video, that like I said, I'm just gonna showcase just a few seconds of it. It's easy to not do all that stuff. Where in the scriptures did it say that they were doing gang signs? And inviting a bunch of women over. Whenever it does, it's mostly a bad thing. It's more of a lesson as opposed to a good time. But ultimately, my observation is that a lot of those men in that video were still in this world. They love the things of this world, and that's why they bring those things from the world into the ministry of Yahweh Shai over there at Sakari, so that they would eat that meal and drink that cup unworthily, because they're not necessarily following the ordinances that were placed upon us. As verse 16, it says, "For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes," and that's what you're going to see in that video. It says, "And the pride of life is not of the Father, but is of the world. And the world passeth away, and the lust thereof, but he that doeth the will of the Most High abideth forever." We're supposed to be departing from Babylon mentally. Like all these things in the world, it's understandable if you like to party, if you like to drink, but then there has to come a point in time where the standard needs to be set. Like the Passover, the standard of the Passover is not a party where you can just dance on a bunch of random women, throw some gang signs or whatever. Yeah, we all have a good time afterwards, but then the whole thing about it is you have to be in a solemn mind state, understanding that this is a serious time. Even the first Passover, when we were leaving Egypt, that was a very scary time. We had fear of the Lord, because we put the blood on the door. We cooked the lamb, and we were told pretty much everyone who didn't get inside the house and celebrate the Passover, that the spirit of Yahweh Shai pretty much was going to go and kill all the firstborn, even the firstborn of Pharaoh. So there was a lot of death on the first Passover. So you have to understand, like I said, the Passover is a solemn assembly. There will come a time where it will be a big grand celebration, and that's going to be in the kingdom of heaven, and that time ain't right now. And even then, in those high holy days in the kingdom of heaven, we're still going to put on a sober, more of a somber mindset, to remember and commemorate it the proper way. All right, so I got another precept in 2 Corinthians 6, verse 17. It says, "Wherefore come out from among them, and be ye separate, saith the Lord, and touch not the unclean thing, and I will receive you." So coming, like I said again, coming out of this world, you're supposed to put off these things, be separate, because you're supposed to be like-minded of the men that we walk with, the men that we teach under. Because those are the people, the hopeful elect, the ones who are sighing and crying for all the abominations done down here. You can't just, be a joint with, just any other random person. You got to be separate. That's why pretty much, in this ministry, you start to make enemies within your family, within your old high school friends or whatever, because pretty much you're not supposed to be hanging out with them. If anything, you're supposed to just, cut them off. Nip it in the butt, now while it's easy. Because in this ministry, like I said, we're supposed to be separate. The friends and families we have are the ones in this ministry. Not just some random person just because they know the name or whatever. All right, so this precept I want to read, but I'm going to go ahead and show you just a few clips of it. I have the volume down as well.
Your boy went and did it to him, huh?
Y'all single, y'all can have some too. Yeah, y'all single, right? Yeah. Y'all single?
You should see this. I'm not trying to be a rude person or anything, but you can see the sisters wearing masks. With the leprous hair. And I'm sure that's not really leprous hair. It's just probably some weave or something. But you can see that this isn't really it don't add up. It don't fit in. It doesn't sit well with what's supposed to be being showcased in this video. It's supposed to be a somber, solemn assembly of the Passover, But then you got this sister, no offense to whoever this is, but she's over here invited to this thing wearing a mask. If you know what we preach and prophesy about, we know we don't wear those masks unless we have to wear those masks. Like if we have to go to the store or pay for gas. It shows that person right there doesn't have faith in Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, that Yahweh Hashem Yahushai will take care of him from a meme virus that's not even real. And then with the weave, I'm not even going to speak on that. And then the pants too, like where I open up in this clip, the first precept I had pulled up was 1 Corinthians 6 verse 9, and then I said I wasn't going to speak about adulterers or effeminates. But I think I do need to speak about adulterers, because we're all men in the flesh down here, and you got a sister out here with her thing out pretty much. It's gonna entice a man to think. It's gonna entice a man to have adulterous thoughts in his mind, and that's what Yahweh Shai said is if you look at a woman, you're pretty much already committing adultery, because all these women, as soon as they get old, they're already married. There ain't no virgins in this world, considering the scriptures, so I guess I do have to bring up more things, but I'm not, because you can just see, by observation what's going on. What's understood does not need to be spoken. Actually, I wouldn't mind going to this place. I'm just joking. And you could tell, I guess this is him, whoever's recording, he was being a pervert, recording this woman. Well, hey brother, have you asked this woman if she was married? Most likely not.
I got it.
Wow. Really tripping. Let's get it.
I think that's it. That's all I need to show. That guy's just being a pervert. But then again, I'm not saying that he's sinning for being a pervert, but rather is it that because he's not mentally thinking that woman could be married, and Yahweh Shai's, his teachings taught against those things, and those are the things that were going up against them. And I remember they were saying pretty much that they were we, like us men of Great Millstone, we were jealous of them, but then I know in Proverbs 24 verse 1 it says, "Be not thou envious against evil men, neither desire to be with them." And I was joking that if I want to be with them, but because you can understand where I'm coming from, so we're not envious against evil men, or we desire to be with them, because like I said, if I had no option, and then there was a Passover service being held with IOIC or IUCPK or what have you, I'd rather do it by myself, because I know by myself I'm gonna do it the right way, even though if I might mess up, might forget a few things, because I'll be there by myself. But it's the point is that we're not envious against evil men, nor do we desire to be with them. We desire to be separate from the world. And so this last precept I had here is 1 Ezra 9 verse 9. It says, "And do this will, and separate yourselves from the heathen of the land." And if you pretty much you do sin upon sin, commit iniquity, you're of this world, you don't even believe in the Most High, you're pretty much considered a heathen. Don't matter what your line goes back to. And then so in that video, you could tell that a lot of those people don't follow the scriptures, or follow the scriptures to a T. So they're pretty much considered heathen, and we're supposed to separate ourselves from them. That's why we don't do these what do they call those, unity camps, because it's just gonna be a whole bunch of confusion. We'd rather be separate, and blameless. But I'm reading it again. It says, and do this will, and separate yourselves from the heathen of the land, and from the strange women. In that video, like I was just showing, it was just a whole bunch of strange women. All right, so that's the end of this video. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. And once again, I'm going to read this again. 1 Corinthians 11, verse 27, it says, wherefore, whosoever shall eat this bread and drink this cup of the Lord unworthily shall be guilty of the body and blood of the Lord. So those are the things that they're going to be guilty for. All right, so, all praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash.